First, we turn to a political stunt at the White House. 3.5 years into his 4-year term, only 153 days until Election Day, and all of a sudden, your President Joe shuffled out to the podium to announce an executive order on the border crisis. Now, this deadly crisis has been raging for more than 3+ years, but with just a few months until the election, Biden has now decided it's time for action. Of course, Biden's election conversion, well, that will do next to nothing to actually solve the crisis. It's all smoke. It's all mirrors. And as reported by our own Bill Maloogian, it does not stop the 1,500 illegal immigrants per day released into the U.S. or the 30,000 illegal immigrants per month that Biden is flying directly into the U.S. that you're paying for. Meanwhile, unaccompanied minors, they're exempt from the order, and don't expect any kind of mass deportation of the 10 million plus unvetted Joe Biden illegal immigrants already in our country. And as we have mentioned many times, many are from our top geopolitical foes. In other words, nothing's going to change except Biden's talking points. So let's step back. How did we get here? At the end of Trump's first term, the border was secure like never before. Illegal immigration plummeted. Trump's border security measures, they were working. In January of 2021, on Biden's very first day in office, with the stroke of a pen, as we've been saying over and over, Joe terminated Trump's border emergency designation, redirected funds away from the border wall. He suspended deportations, ended Trump's Remain in Mexico policy, Title 42, and that's not all. In the first few months of the Biden administration, so many border protections were rescinded that the DHS Secretary Mayorkas, he couldn't even be bothered to list them all. The list was so long. Take a look.
So we have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them. We rescinded the Remain in Mexico policy. We rescinded, of course, the public charge rule that deprived vulnerable migrants from accessing certain critical life benefits. We have restored the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, the DACA program. We have rescinded so many and have restored so many that he really dismantled.
Now, to the surprise of no one, millions of illegal immigrants from all around the world began pouring across the border. Now, the scenes were and the scenes remain horrific. Border Patrol was totally and is totally today overwhelmed. Vetting still almost non-existent, especially for certain special interest countries that we know are plagued with terrorism and violence and are known to harbor terrorists. But the Biden administration lied directly to your face and every American's face for almost 3 straight years. And he told you that the border was secure and the border was closed. And they said it and they said it. Let's see. Biden said it. Vice President Harris said it. Mayorkas said it. Circle back, Jen Psaki said it. Karine Jean-Pierre said it. They all said it. Take a look.
Sounds to most folks like a crisis.
Well, look, it's way down now. We've now gotten control.
Precisely that. The border is closed.
Nor could I have been clearer and continue to be so, which is the border is closed.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border.
The border, we are working to make the border more secure.
You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We agree that the border is secure.
They all knew they were lying, but they did it anyway, despite the massive influx that we saw with our own eyes of illegal immigrants. The administration did nothing to stop or even slow the breakdown at our border. Now the biggest national security threat, a clear and present danger to every American. The White House told you not to believe your own eyes and then spend billions transporting illegal immigrants across the country so the visuals at the border would be better. They were and they are guilty today of aiding and abetting illegal immigrants and assisting in the trafficking of illegal immigrants. Now, that's when major American cities, you all started to feel the pain, didn't you? Even democratic cities, even sanctuary cities, even sanctuary states. Resources were drained, shelters full, schools and public parks were commandeered to help house the newly arriving Joe Biden unvetted illegals. The financial burden was and is extreme. Now, for example, let's look at New York City, sanctuary city that it is. 1 in every 5 hotels is now used to shelter illegal immigrants. Month after month, taxpayers pick up that hotel tab. Thank God I left. And as a thank you to the good people of New York, well, some of these illegals turned to crime. Take a look at your screen. Just this week, an unvetted Joe Biden illegal immigrant, this one from Venezuela, who arrived in this country in 2023 and who was enjoying a taxpayer-funded hotel room in New York City, shot 2 New York City police officers. Why? Because police suspected him of committing a series of robberies. Naturally, despite the Biden administration's best efforts to cover up the crisis, Americans on both sides of the aisle have become outraged, and for good reason. So after a few bad poll numbers, and 153 days towards the election, Biden what? Now finally changing his tune. They call that an election year conversion. It actually has a name. He admitted the border was a disaster, but then he tried to blame Republicans. Remember, he said he did all he could do to secure the border. Told us this many times, said it last in January. Take a look.
Give me the power. I'm asking the very day I got in office. Give me the border patrol. Give me the people to judge. Give me the people to stop this and make it work.
He had the power the whole time. Biden caused the crisis with a stroke of a pen. And as we had said, he could at any time fix this crisis with the stroke of a pen. Today's actions prove he always had that power to make the change. Only his changes today, well, when you dig down deeper, they're completely meaningless. And on the other hand, the insane Senate immigration bill, that would only streamline asylum abuse by adding processing capabilities. It wasn't a border security bill. If anything, this legislation might have caused an increase in illegal immigration. So the bill flopped. And after a few more weeks of gaslighting you, the American people, and blaming Republicans for the crisis he created, Biden went back to the old drawing board. And today, after swearing that he lacked the ability to address the border, after 3 years of lying, say the border's closed and the border's secure, saying it over and over again, he signed a single executive order claiming to do just that. But as the ever so eloquent Senator John Kennedy, Louisiana, pointed out today, this is just the latest dishonest political maneuver designed to fool the American people. Take a look.
Okay, I want you to listen up. Here's the drill. President Biden is in trouble politically. He's polling right up there with fungal infections. Part of the reason for that is that he gave in to the loon wing of his party, and he dissolved the southern border. Now, 5 months before an election, he has to appear to be willing to do something about it.
Bottom line, never trust a man whose uncle was eaten by cannibals.
Yeah, don't trust a guy whose Uncle Bosie was eaten by cannibals who really wasn't. Bottom line, for 3.5 years and counting, Biden chose not to secure the border. The crisis is not an accident. This was and is intentional, and it won't stop until Biden is gone from office. Hopefully in 153 days, he loses. Just this week, we learned the administration is legalizing hundreds of thousands of illegals without even telling you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.